Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Blue Abroad Show, I guess. Today, I have a very special guest, someone who's very dear to me and my life. I speak of none other than the head of football operations at North Melbourne, Miss Laura Kane. Hello, mate.
Hello, how you going?
Yeah, good, good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good.
You're sitting up there in the hub life, sun behind you. It looks like a joyous time. What's your situation?
Yeah, we're in Maroochydore at the moment. It's actually not that sunny today. It's been raining for about 3 days straight, but we think there's a bit of light later this weekend or early next, which has been nice. But yeah, we've been in Maroochydore for a couple of days. We came from the Gold Coast, where we've been from the start of the hub a couple of weeks ago. And we're here for a couple more weeks and then off to Tassie. So it's the travelling roadshow at the moment.
Look, I can understand the notion it can be tough. Obviously, people are away from their families and loved ones and all of that. But who wants to be in Melbourne right now? Melbourne's miserable.
Yeah, I agree with that. It is quite nice to be out of Melbourne, but it is hard. Our players and our staff all have family, as you said, or loved ones back at home that can't leave and that are in a really difficult situation. So it's a little bit bittersweet, I think, that we're safe and we're able to continue doing what we're doing in terms of playing and working, but knowing that there's lots of people that we care about back home that can't do all of those things and that we're missing.
Yeah, you're making it work. You're here on Skype with me. No, I do appreciate it. We'll touch a little bit more on Hub Life, but I guess for those who are watching, whether they be Carlton supporters or North Melbourne supporters, or even people who are looking to get into the sport world, you and I, we start way back. What was it?
18.
10 or
18
11
years
years
old.
ago. Yeah, we walked in as young kids at Victoria Law School. Obviously, at the time, that's what we thought what was going to happen. We are going to become lawyers, and I guess we did. We practiced. We did our thing. Why don't you give us a bit of a high level summary of where it started and how you got into footy?
Yeah, so that's correct. We started at VU, which was seems like a lifetime ago now. I finished uni and practiced for 2 years, so I was a personal injury lawyer, as you know, and hopefully the North Melbourne supporters that are tuning into your channel now. Practiced for 2 years, loved it, really, really good experience and really enjoyed the legal profession and fell into footy in 2016. So had been involved in women's football for a really long time and played and just loved it. It was my hobby, basically. But then moved across to North Melbourne at the start of 2016 to look after women's football and Next Generation Academy program. And yeah, 6 or kind of 9 months later, moved into this role in football operations, where now I look after all of our teams, play development, and a few other bits and pieces. So I love it. It feels like a lifetime ago that I was a practicing solicitor, but it is, it's been a nice change.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you were coaching the Melbourne Uni women's team, right?
Yeah, I played at Melbourne Uni. I joined Melbourne Uni when I was 12 as a little kid, actually, and played youth girls and then coached and played and was on the committee. So Melbourne Uni Women's Football Club has been a massive part of my life and was the community partner of North Melbourne. So that's where the connection started and that's how I got involved working in football. And I'm really thankful. All of the women that were there taught me a lot growing up as a teenager and into my early 20s and set me in good stead to work in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back then, I mean, because where I grew up, I mean, women's footy it wasn't a thing that I saw much of, to be honest, from where I was from, the Mill Parkians with their Blue Heaven milkshakes, real different type of cats over down here in Mill Park. But there was really, I guess, with you and, I used to come watch some of the games you would coach, and that was really the foundation for my understanding of, this new industry almost, the women's footy. It took me probably a year after the season, the inaugural season, for me to watch it regularly. I wasn't in the country, so there were things like that. But I think now that we have, Carlton have a team as well, that helps with my pathway into women's footy. Give me a high level. Where are we at as a women's footy industry, and what's on the horizon, given the challenges?
Yeah, I mean, the girls have had a tough run when COVID hit and the AFL men's season was delayed. The women's was cancelled, and that was really hard. The timing and kind of the uncertainty, it means it's understandable. The decision's understandable, but it doesn't make it any easier that the girls now don't play football for kind of the better part of 6 to 8 months over winter. But the competition's in good shape. The AFL have been really strong on their commitment, as you would have seen in terms of confirming the soft cap, confirming the budget, increasing spend, looking to increase the length of the season and sort of continuing on with the plan, which is really pleasing to see. So we expect the girls to start training, they start pre-season in November and then play from early next year as scheduled and as planned, pending the pandemic not continuing into 2021. But in terms of where women's football's at, it's in a really good place. It's just a really critical time to make sure that we keep the momentum up and don't let this year derail all the efforts. Participation is unbelievable across the country. The competition and the quality of the game is just developing before our eyes. Every single week it gets better. And even though the seasons are shorter, the progression we've been able to see, even North Melbourne only in the competition for 2 years, 2 interesting years, I must say, but it has been amazing. So I absolutely love it, as you know, and I'm super passionate about women in footy, not just women AFLW, but just women in football more broadly. So I love it, and I can't wait to see what happens and where it gets to, and all the amazing talented players that we're watching, what they end up to be and achieve.
Love it. No, I love following the journey. It's really, I think it's good for our game. It's good for our society as well. There's going to be obviously some hardships early and some pushback and all of that, but with most new things, there is always a little bit of that. So your role, head of football operations, I feel like that was a narrow term. It's so much more broad now, given where you are exactly right now. What is the role now, given where we are?
Goodness, I don't even know where to start. The role more broadly, or in a normal season, sort of involves the operations of our 4 teams. I know we obviously, the state league seasons are not going ahead in their current format with AFL clubs, but ordinarily it's our 4 teams, all of the staff that manage and that are involved in those teams from a logistical point of view. So basically getting the team from A to B, making sure we're completely ready, getting all of our stuff all around the country, etc., etc. There's an integrity overlay for me with my background, and a player development and welfare component to my role. So looking after what all the players do off the field with our player development managers, our career and education coordinators, our sports psychs. So basically making sure that the operation runs as smoothly as possible, and that includes game day and during the week. So my game day role for the boys is on the bench, helping the coaches deliver messages to the players, medical updates, decisions, keeping people kind of abreast of what's going on from down on the bench, up in the box, and just dealing with the crazy of what the footy world can be sometimes. But here it is very different. We're obviously a reduced staff that have come up into the hub, and we're doing everything. So I wouldn't even know where to start in terms of what our day-to-day what it looks like. But our staff have been unbelievable. If I could help with physio, I would. If I could help the doctors, I would, and vice versa. So everybody's doing a bit of everything just to make it work. It's been a massive logistical effort to get us all here, but we're just happy and grateful that we can continue to play.
So basically nothing's changed since uni. You're still the mother of the group.
That's correct. Yes, that's a good observation.
So is the entire list up there?
We've got all 45 players here. So we've got boys who were in rehab joined us. We didn't want to leave anyone behind. It was really important to us that we had the whole group here, and that with the uncertainty of how long we would be here, I know originally it was 32 days, but I think everyone knew with what was going on at home that that would likely be extended, and to get the season away, we would need to be somewhere outside of Victoria. So yeah, it was important to us that we took everyone, and we did, and we're all here together. So family's a massive part of our club, and it's a really strong value, and I was really pleased that we're able to bring everyone on the first flight out of Melbourne.
Yeah, I mean, touching on the guys, and obviously with us, I mean, my observation of the Blues is we're, for the most part, a pretty young group in the sense of there aren't, the majority of them don't have kids, families. Some of them do. And I think for a younger group, it's more of a, I guess, well, there's always two ways to look at it. It's obviously, it's tough, don't get me wrong, but it's also an opportunity to bond. I mean, obviously with you guys, I think the last 2 weeks have been a little bit tough. Last week was tough just with injuries, and you look at the injury list that you guys have, and obviously that is a challenge in itself. But what's it been like on a bonding front for the group?
It's been unbelievable. I thought of you actually when we were sharing the hotel with Carlton on the Gold Coast. But you're right. The observation is right. The ability to spend a lot of time together is something that we only get if we go on, pre-season camps, and even then, not all of the staff go, for example. So to be able to be around each other all day, every day, and get to know each other on a different level, I think even for players and staff, things that you just, little bits and pieces that you just don't pick up at the club. You don't have that time to kind of sit. Not that we have much time to do that here either, but just the conversation at dinner, the green space we had at our last hotel, people would spend a lot of time out there just talking, and it's been unbelievable. So the silver lining of a hard situation is that we'll get to know each other like never before, and I think all the teams will become closer regardless of what's happening on the scoreboard, which is a good thing. So it's been great. It's you've got different people to talk to every day, different conversation, different stories. And yeah, it just keeps the days ticking over them. I've got a lot left, so it's good that we've got about 90 different people to talk to.
100%. So you said you shared a hotel with the mighty great Carlton Football Club. Do you have any insight as to who are the boys that you ran into that were maybe the most polite? Who struck a chord with you as someone that impressed you? Were there any situations like that we Carlton fans can take umbrage can enjoy?
They were all lovely. All of them. It was us, the Bulldogs, and the Blues, and everyone was lovely. Everyone's in the same boat. So yeah, no specific stories to keep you going, but no bad ones. They're all great, and they're doing what they can. They're playing soccer, playing golf, swimming, trying to get some downtime, but at the same time doing all the things that they need to do to be ready for the next week's game. So the ice baths are in overdrive, and pool sessions and gym sessions at the hotel, and in and out for training. So they're working hard.
No, that's good. That's good. The fan in me wants to really get the banter going. And, but I'll be honest, Laws, I'm worried about this week. There's something about North Melbourne that you just find a way to just play well against us. And, we're going pretty well considering where we've come from. And I know that with every loss that you guys have, it probably just puts the group, it probably bonds the group more in the sense of you're more desperate for a win. You've actually played some really strong competitive football. The last 2 weeks, just from an outsider's point of view, it's just been a bit tough. Things have unraveled that might not be in your control. I'm hoping that you can just hold off on the response for 1 week, and you can come back to form next week. But look, I do really appreciate your time. I know that you're high up in the AFL industry now, and talking to little YouTube channels like this one might not be your regular thing, but I really do appreciate you coming on. I'm really proud of you, and thanks again.
Thank you. I hope all of your fans have enjoyed talking North Melbourne for a little bit.